You're listening to my WorldNet Daily exclusive audio article. Today's WorldNet Daily exclusive audio article is entitled, "One Way or Another, Trump Will Be Just Fine." Despite the conventional wisdom, I still believe that President Trump will pull this election out. The several state election fraud appears too obvious for him not to prevail. And thankfully, he's not your run-of-the-mill Republican, he's a fighter. But suppose he doesn't, what then? Well, you can bet Donald Trump will survive and be just fine. What may not survive is the hapless, Trumpless Republican Party, which frankly doesn't deserve to. If the radical leftists that make up the present-day Democrat Party successfully vanquish Donald Trump, how will the Republicans possibly pick up the pieces? These smarter-than-you faux-conservatives like David French, Bill Kristol, the Washington Examiner, and yes, the new-look Fox News will certainly not further the outsider conservative agenda Trump put forth. These guys are the deep state, and will be as happy as the leftists to see Trump lose. But I have a sneaking suspicion they won't be happy for long. I don't know whether they think they can coexist with the Democrats as they did in the good old days, where the GOP was perfectly satisfied being a minority party, fainting opposition to Democrat policy. If this is indeed what they are hoping for, they best think again. This is no longer your dad's or your grandpa's Democrat Party, and this new party means to stamp out anything and anyone who is simply less radical than they. That means you, status quo deep state rhinos. Meanwhile, as the Dems ramrod their radically fascistic agenda through Congress, as the GOP begs them for a seat at the kids' table, former President Donald Trump has a plan himself. As someone recently mentioned, Donald Trump has an uncanny cat-like instinct for landing on his feet. And when he does, it may be the weak-kneed Republican centrists who may pay a greater price than even will the Democrats. Yes, the Dems are attempting to lie, cheat, and steal their way into 1600 Pennsylvania, but few Republicans are going to bat for Trump. And worse than that, Trump won't soon forget how quickly he was jettisoned by his once media ally, Fox News. Many of us on the right have posited the theory that upon his retirement from politics, however it occurs, Trump will endeavor to start his very own news network. And when he does, one of the first things he will do is likely hire away virtually all the existing true conservative on-air talent away from particularly Fox News. The first two to bolt will likely be Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson. And to that, my guess is the arrogant SOBs at the new-look Fox won't care, to start, but soon after they'll be forced to when their ratings and revenue tank, going from number one to on par with CNN or MSNBC. And you can make book that simultaneously the Trump News Network ratings will skyrocket. And you can also bet that Trump will be front and center, rubbing it in their faces. I'm not one for vengeance. I try my best to let things go and look to the future. But if what I and others predict comes to pass, should Trump lose, I will revel in Trump exacting revenge on those deep state D-bags and hope they all get what they so rightly deserve. But with any luck and some divine intervention, we can put the Trump News Network on hold for another 4 years. Thank you for listening.